Hello everybody, and welcome to the 24th episode of my Direwolf20 119 Modpack series. Last episode we finished off by creating this little mining base on the moon here, and we set this digital miner down. You guys can see those corners right there that I have placed. That is the area that this guy right here mines, so if I ever need more stuff right here, I just move it to the edge of one of those areas, so I can maximize my mining ability. Well, now that we have all this, what I want to do is actually throw it onto the ground. The reason I want to do that is so it goes into my pocket storage, just to make it easier, because we don't have any like chest on here. But once I do this, it should all go into my pocket storage. Perfect. So, as I mentioned last episode, at the end of last episode, and in it too, I want to go to Mars this episode, and for that we need this dash. So what we need to do now is actually go back to Earth. And to do that, we need a launch pad, which we fortunately have right here. Now, we're going to have to go outside. You can see inside, if you guys look at our thing right here, we can see it's green on the inside because this place is oxygenated. When we go outside, it turns white because we have no more oxygenation going on. So I think it would be a good thing to do is to go back the way we're supposed to, and that is through this machine right here. Sorry, the whatever it's called, pilot, rocket. So I'll just put these guys in. Now we should be fine to go back to Earth. But once we get back to Earth, we'll be able to create a dash rocket, and using that dash rocket we can go to Mars. And the reason I want to go to Mars is because I want to go to Mars and unlock the more resource or the upgraded resources so we can go to further places like the gas planets. But around Mars, I want to build a space station. I don't know what the space stations look like, so I think it'll be a good time to make what's it called? Oops, press the wrong button. I think it'd be a good time to see if we can make a space base. Because as I said last episode, I like our base, but I think having a space base would be really cool. I'm almost making it like our new main base. So, solar system, we want to go back to Earth. We could make a space station on Earth too, honestly, but that's fine. I don't think I want to right now. Let's just go back to Earth normally. The question is, where will this bring us back? It looks like it's bringing us back in our Britannia area, which is not something I was expecting to happen. So let's slowly go down because I don't want to destroy anything in my Britannia area. I think it's gonna land right on top of my pylon. Can you guys hear in-game noise? Do I have the in-game noise turned off? No, I can hear it. It pretty much landed on my pylon. Now I need to break this somehow, right? Should my rocket be inside? There we go. Now there is a little bit of lag, and I think I can. I see if I can sleep first to get this lag away. If the sleeping doesn't get the lag away, then I'll just pause for a second. So I can't sleep right now, but I can use my ring. Guys, there's actually a bunch of lag right here. It's probably because I'm rendering a video right now as well. Hopefully turning the rain off subsides it a little bit. It's subsiding enough. But as you guys can see here, the entire time we were exploring, I did have our pick over here doing its little pick stuff. So let us see if we've got an SS yet. We have not even come close to getting SS yet, but it will get there eventually. So I'll just throw that in there and continue on. If this lag continues on in this area over here, guys, I'm just going to pause the video and wait until my rendering is over. Okay. So let's see what does it say? We're at 20 FPS. Yeah, guys, I think this lag is a bit too much, so I'm just going to wait for my video to finish rendering. And at that point, I'll bring you guys back in. What I might do, however, though, guys, is we have a whole bunch of dash in here, so I'm going to probably process the dash. And if we go to tier, we spell tier wrong no matter how many times I try. If we look at, there's a tier 4 rocket. I didn't know there was a tier 4 rocket. But what I might do as well is actually just get the tier 4 parts, because it's pretty much just dash blocks and then dash tanks. I'll show you guys the parts right now, and then I'll just quickly make them, and then we can put them together inside of the NASA workbench. I finished running the video, so now as you guys can see, my game is running perfectly fine. I do have some parts built already that I mentioned. I need to just build the last few pieces, which are the 2 fuel tanks. I just made 13. Okay. I did not mean to make 13. Well, that's a shame, but fortunately I do have this extra stack right here. But now we should have all the ingredients needed to make a tier 2 rocket, which is right there. And we can pop this right here. Now, I do want to go, I should fuel it first before going inside. I do want to go to Mars first before making the what's it called? Oops, did it again. Before making the space base. Assume this takes 3 buckets as well. So we can put those buckets away. We can go to space now, and when we're in space, as I mentioned, we're gonna go to Mars first because there is an armor upgrade that we can get on Mars if we go to add Astra Netherite armor. This is essentially the upgraded version of the armor I'm wearing right now, and as you can also see, this has 1,000. This one has 2,000, so it has twice the amount of oxygen we can carry into it, so I won't need as many tanks. And I did just realize I left my oxygen thing there, which is unfortunate, but something I can do right now about that. At least I do have my oxygen tanks with me, so it shouldn't be too bad at the very least. Alright guys, we're just about to land here in Mars, and hopefully not crash, because we don't want to. It looks like snow right there. I thought Mars was a... Oh no, Venus is the warm place, Mars is the cold place. Okay. So let's get... Oops, not what I wanted to do. Let's get our rocket back out of here. We can break this in. So what I need to do now is I need to get the special resource here. So if we go to, again, at Astra, let's look for the ore. I'll find it in a second. Maybe I won't find it in a second because I am dumb. There we go. Mars Ostrom ore. Ostrom ore is what is used to make the upgraded version of everything else. So that would get us the Tier 3 rocket and beyond. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I am going to go mining for a whole bunch of that Ostrom and kind of just see what else is in here. Because I don't really see too many other structures around here. It doesn't look like there's any structures at all, to be honest with you. And I didn't really see any when I was looking at Mars around here. So we should be fine in that regard. I decided to go ahead and just place down a digital miner here, because it just made mining the Ostrom a whole lot faster. And just an FYI, guys, if you tick accelerate the bottom one right here where this power source is, or this power plug is, it will actually tick accelerate the entire digital miner. And it looks like it has an internal inventory, which I didn't realize. But to show you guys what I mean by that is we'll just fly over here quickly. And this is far enough away. If you put this guy down, put power on, and we'll just get ourselves under here quickly. And we'll just pop in here, we'll click start, so you guys see this is the normal speed of it. It's pretty slow, but if we pop under here, just accelerate a little bit, you can see it goes a whole bunch faster now. I just thought I'd mention that quickly because it is honestly a very useful thing to have, especially when I spent myself waiting for like 20 minutes and realized, wait, I have to worry about my oxygen, so I should probably go a bit faster. And I found out tickler shutting works, so it worked just really well. So what we're going to do now is I want to get back to Earth. And when we get back to Earth, we will be able to turn all this stuff into ingots. And once we get it all ingotified, we can then make netherite armor. And once we do that, I want to work on building a space station base, or at least see what the space station base looks like. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go back to Earth. I'm going to turn all those stuff, all these raw things here, into ingots, and maybe even make some armor out of it too. Oh, no, I'll get the ingredients ready to craft the armor, then I'll just bring you guys into craft the final pieces of it. And then I'll also get all the materials ready to make the space base, and after that, we'll put the netherite armor on, and we'll launch ourselves into space and make ourselves a space base and see what's up with that. Alright guys, I went ahead and crafted all the necessary ingredients, and got the plate body right there. We can craft the helmet right here. We can get our boots right there, and then finally we can get our leggings right here. What this armor is used for is for the hot places that require fire resistance. We actually would have been fine if we chose to keep that armor because we do have the, where's the necklace? The fire necklace. So that is a, I guess, benefit, I guess you could say, but it's fine because I want to progress to the mod, not use other mods to kind of break this mod itself. But what I want to do now is we can go to space. I do have all the materials here. I don't remember which ones are needed, so I just kind of brought all of them, both plates and ingots. So I'm gonna head up to space, and there we will create our space station, which we're going to create on Mars. We're here in space, guys, entering the solar system, and we're going to create a space station. You wanna know, I just realized I'm gonna have to create a little something else, because ooh, we got like a space station, and I'm dying because I have no oxygen. Woo! And I just fell off my... Oh no, my vehicle's gonna crash. Oh, maybe it didn't break anything. Nope, it most certainly did. So, good news, we have a base. Bad news is it's kind of broken already. And it's lagging completely. Well, this is fine, guys. We can use this... How do we get inside? Oh, here's the entrance. Okay. now that we are inside our little base right here, we are still running out of oxygen, so that's not a good thing. Yeah, so guys, I'm just gonna build a base around here as I always build. I'm gonna build it off camera because I'm very bad at building, and it'll take me way too long to build it on camera, or even with a time lapse with you guys. Alright guys, I've been working on this for like the past 4 hours. It's, I think, as good as it's gonna be for now. I think I've kind of gotten brain rot at this point from working so much on it. So I'm gonna take a break from it and show you guys what I have so far, and I think it's honestly halfway decent. It's a lot better than the first iteration looked of it, at least. I'm probably on the fourth iteration now of me just messing with it, and this is not it. It's behind me. It is... Boom. Yeah, I know. It looks kind of bad from this angle. I wasn't fully sure what I was doing with it so far, and it also looks like I may need to fix this a little bit by just adding some more stuff down here, but this is essentially what I have. I tried making almost like a fighter plane. I tried mixing in some other spaceships that I've seen, but this is kind of what I have so far. That's my oxygen tank because I kept running out of oxygen right there. But I thought it'd be an interesting thing to have. So, with this base, there's a few things. Where's my elevator? There's a few things I want to do. If you go to the Ad Astra book, one of the better fuels you can use is, if you go back, where's probably the better fuel one. So, using the cryo freezer, we can create cryo fuel. And there is two, it looks like we have Ostrom already. There's two ways to create the cryo fuel. The first way is to use the ice shards that we found, and the second way is if we can find it quickly in here. I am certain it's in here somewhere. I hope it's in here somewhere because I remember reading it. Oh, right here. Alternatively, you can convert ice, packed ice, and blue ice to fuel. Once you've had at least 2 buckets, you can make yourself a return to back ship. So that is what I want to do. And there is an under area under here, guys. So if we actually, I can just show you guys how we go down. And where's it going? Oh, it's right over here. Or right here. There we go. And what I want to do down here is kind of use it to make fuel. And instead of going the, where is it? The ice shard route, I think it would be fun to make a little automated system using the blast chiller. Pull up the blast chiller. We can see we can make ice, and I can turn that into, if we go to, we can turn that into packed ice, and then we can turn packed ice into blue ice, finally putting it into the cryo freezer. I may end up seeing which ice is best to get the most amount out of, because that will, I guess, change. But that's what I think we're going to do. And what I'm going to do right now then, guys, is I'm going to find how to get back down here. I am going to set up a bunch of blast chillers down here, and I'm going to set up a whole bunch of packers, because I want to get that going. Now, we haven't made a cryo, not a cryo freezer, I actually think it was a cryo freezer. Uses, ice, uses, cryo freezer. So I haven't made a cryo freezer yet. So these are kind of, I guess these are the blocks and how it's made. It uses the Ostrom that we just got from Mars, uses blocks and uses tanks, and that's essentially how it is. What I also kind of want to do, which I think might be kind of interesting, is I want to see if we can cover almost the entire roof here with solar panels and see if that works. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, but I'm going to try to, because I did make a whole bunch of solar panels and I want to see if it works or not. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to craft all that stuff up. I'm probably going to go ahead and place down some sort of power source. I may... Ooh, I got an idea, guys. What if we... Let's find my elevator. What if back here we make a small nuclear reactor? That'd be pretty interesting, right, guys? So that's what we'll do for power. We'll make a nuclear reactor back here. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. I think that's a really good idea. So I'm going to get the materials to make a nuclear reactor. I think I'm going to go with a mechanism reactor. I haven't made a mechanism. Honestly, actually, to be honest with you guys, I've never made a mechanism reactor ever before. So this will be a first for me because I feel like I want to get that plutonium and stuff. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a mechanism reactor. And I think that'd be a really good idea. So I'll be back once I get all the materials for everything. Sorry, guys, I still have a whole bunch of stuff at you, but trust me, we'll do it one at a time. The first thing we'll do is probably set up the reactor because we need power to actually use our blast chillers. As you guys can see, we're here back at base, and that's for a good reason. As I just mentioned, the first thing I want to build on the, I guess, new main base in the sky, the giant spaceship I'm trying to make, is a fusion reactor. However, for that, we need fissile fuel. And to make fissile fuel, we need uranium. We have all that stuff. That's fine. We have hundreds of thousands of uranium. But the real problem is this sulfur dioxide. You guys know from this little area over here for the ore processing that sulfur dioxide is pretty much our biggest weakness right now. I even have this going over here, and even then it's not able to hold up half the time. So, what I thought I should do is might as well just bite the bullet and make an entire setup that is purely for creating as much sulfur dioxide as possible. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to use trees here. I'm going to use the trees in a phytogenic insulator. Go over here. You say I get 6 logs, and using those logs, we can get charcoal. We can use charcoal in the, which machine is it? The pressurizing chamber, to get 9 sulfur and some hydrogen. We can just either keep the hydrogen and pump it into somewhere else that needs hydrogen, or we can use the hydrogen for ourselves, or just dump it, I guess, because we can do that as well. So that's what I plan on doing right now. I'm going to put it against the walls right here, just to give you guys a brief idea what it's going to look like. It's going to look kind of stupid, but kind of stupid doesn't bother me right now. I'll just show you guys what one pod is going to look like. I'm going to have one pod pretty much surrounded by a 2x2 drawer, and like this. I'm going to make 8 of these for a total of 32. And once I finish creating this little, I guess, little farm here, I guess maybe big farm at this point, I'll bring you guys back in, and then we can start working on creating the actual sulfur dioxide itself. I have made sulfuric acid with you guys so much, I just went ahead and did it, because I made it probably 3 times at the very least. So over here we just have it sucking the oak logs out. You can see I'm still getting a backlog, so this is actually going faster, so I could technically add a little bit more of the smelting, but I don't know how much more, so I kind of just stopped doing it for now. And this is kind of what I have. If you're wondering why I have these empty spaces all around here and how it goes all the way over there, I did that mainly because I can expand this in the future pretty easily if I want to. The only thing that I'd really have to fix, unless I fix, to add to expand this, would probably be more of these little things right here. And honestly, if I were to do that, I'd probably just put it on the back right here, because that would just be a very simple, easy way to do it. In fact, that's actually a pretty good idea. But okay, but that's probably what I'd have to do. Probably just double this on the back side, so we can just double this entire thing. I wouldn't have to double these guys here because these guys are still not producing enough for this. So if I probably have to double all that's back here, which is what I probably actually I might end up doing that, but we'll see. But that is getting a little bit off topic. So what I want to do now, guys, is we have the sulfuric acid. However, I think it would be fun to make the fissile fuel actually on the plane in that under area, because, or sorry, on my spaceship, because I want to do that. That's essentially it. And you guys probably saw in my inventory, we are going to have to use, so well, I haven't made it yet, but you can probably see over here, the quantum entangle porter. We have to get the gas to the spaceship, and we can't do that using ender tanks because ender tanks don't do gas. However, quantum entangle porter's Mekanism's version of the cross-dimensional, or I guess just wireless transportation, allows you to do gases as well. And because of that, we'll be able to actually get the sulfuric acid all the way over to our spaceship. Now, I did add the quantum entangle porter here, so we can get 2 of those, and it should collapse pretty fast. Now, I'm not going to put 2 down because I don't think that would make sense. But essentially what this is you get fluids, gases, and I don't know what infused types means, so we'll just go over that. But you can see you can literally transport anything in the game, Mekanism or not, which is very nice about this. So we want to go to gas. We're going to have this entire thing just be input because it doesn't really need to be anything else. And then we're just going to simply take our, there they are, my ultimate pressure pipes, and just go right there, and I thought that was import. We did do gas, right? Yes, we did. So I don't know why it's not connecting. It might, oh, you want to know why it's not connecting? Because I don't have it set for anything yet. So I'll set the frequency to sulfuric acid. And we'll just make it a private one, sure. Sorry, a public one. And now see it connected right there. So we'll call it sulfuric acid Holy God 109. And then these guys, we simply have to go to the front for gases. Where's the front? And have it be output. We'll do the same thing on this guy right here. Oops. input, output, and bang. Now we're getting our sulfuric acid going right in here. And this guy does have an internal buffer, which is why you guys see this as negative. Sorry, at 0. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm actually going to build this setup in the spaceship. And once I built it, I can walk you guys through how it works. Because as you guys can probably tell from what I've done so far, is I'm not that good yet at building while explaining. So I'm going to pop over to the base over there in the sky. Or sorry, I guess by Mars. And I'm going to build the fissile fuel setup, and then I'll walk you guys through it. I actually just got the space here, guys, and before I get into actually building it down here, I haven't built it yet. I just want to show you guys that I did add these auction distributors. Now, I know this is back here, but that's because I plan on putting the Mekanism reactor here, so that kind of just be hidden behind it. So we do have our auction coming in here. You can see it's using about 69 RF per tick. We are using about 36 buckets of water, but that's fine because we're pumping out a lot more than that. Sorry, that's per second. So divided by 20 is how many that is per tick. And I also added one downstairs. If we can get to the, is it somewhere on this line right here? I think it's right here. I also added one just right here because I thought it would make sense to have it ready for both the guys down here. Now that I look down here, I'm not fully sure this isotropic centrifuge will actually fit down here. I'll just see with you guys quickly, and if it does, I'll go right back into making it like normal. I don't remember if this is 3 blocks tall or not, which is why I say that. Oh no, it's 2 blocks tall, so we are fine. So yes, guys, I'm gonna start building this all to make the fissile fuel, and once I get it built, I'll bring you guys back in and explain it on up. Now guys, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I think I actually did this very well. Very compact at least. So this is my fissile lime fuel production, all the way to making the fuel right here. So the first thing is, I guess we'll start with the top blocks right here. They are getting sulfuric acid pumped in through the backside, you can see here, into both dissolution chambers. Each dissolution chamber also has a insert card for fluorite blocks, which we have coming into here with a crafting card because I added the crafting recipe, which is just, 3x3 of fluorite. And it sucks into here, and it creates our hydrofluoric acid, which is honestly really easy because if we look at the recipe for it, 900 sulfur, and 1 block is 9,000. So you're essentially getting 10 times the gas per gas, which makes it very convenient to say the least. And what is super nice about universal pipes is it actually allows multiple of the same type to go through it. So you guys can see there is items, fluid, energy, and gas. Now, I'm using the gas for these right now, but as you guys can see, these are both pumping out gases. However, it is pumping into this perfectly fine because the pipes just kind of send A to B, and because of that, they can send any amount of the same type of gas, which is why we have 2 gases going from the same pipe coming into here, which just has a top input and a back input. And then finally, we have this guy just exporting gas to the left, right into the isotropic centrifuge, getting ourselves fissile fuel. So now that we have fissile fuel, we need to make an actual fusion reactor, which I haven't prepared the blocks to make just yet because I didn't know how long this was going to take me to do. And yes, so what I'm going to do now, guys, is I am going to go make probably a 5x5 fissile fuel reactor, or sorry, a fusion reactor, and probably call it there. However, guys, I will not be able to finish right now. I actually have to go to a dentist appointment, and after that, I will come back and I'll be able to make the fusion reactor for you guys. I am back from the dentist. My teeth feel great, and I placed down I guess the beginning of this fusion reactor here. I wanted to complete it with you guys so you guys can at least see somewhat how it goes. So before I get into it, I guess I should probably break off one of these pieces just so you guys can see how each piece of this is made. So this is a basic fusion reactor. I'm just doing a 5x5x5 here. It's pretty much one of the smallest ones you can do. I don't really need a big one right now because this is just honestly for looks to make this look more like a spaceship. But there are some certain things needed. So you need to control rod assemblies, which control the fusion assemblies, which are made with 6 lead, 2 steel, and a basic tank. These go directly under these assembly rods, and these rods are the assembly rod is made with a little bit more stuff. It requires 4 steel, 4 lead, and one of these elite control circuits. So I am personally choosing the every other pattern, but that's because I just want it to go that way. Then the glass is pretty simple. It's force steel surrounded by any type of glass. This is just any mechanism glass that can be used in all of their structures because it just looks good. Oh, I want to show you guys that one too. This is made by having 4 lead ingots surrounded by a steel casing. Now these, honestly, as you guys can see, this is actually quite lead heavy. Now I need to get more structural glass out because I need to cover this front area right here. Now covering this area right here should complete the multi-block. And it didn't. So I had the fusion ports. So if we go to mech, or if we just go to fusion, or wait, I forgot to make a controller, didn't I? So this is Fission Reactor. I don't think I'm supposed to need one, actually. I may have made it wrong. Guys, the answer is yes, I did make it wrong. I was using the wrong glass. As you guys can see here, I needed a reactor glass, not structural glass. I just saw that this says it was used for any applicable multi-block, and for some reason I thought that meant I could use it for this. However, I was wrong, so let's just put that back in the system. And when you place this back, you can see the red particles indicates that it was completed successfully, and that it will work now. So if we go downstairs, there's a couple more things I need to show you guys about this reactor here. You can probably see it right now. So the reactor has 2 inputs and 2 outputs. The first input is obviously going to be the fissile fuel. Now the second input is a coolant, and there's a couple coolants that you could put into this. By a couple, I mean 2. There's either water or sodium. I am personally going to go with water for this one that we have here, mainly because we don't need to not use water here. I don't want to do the sodium, what's called boiler here, because there's not enough space in this area, to be honest with you. So we will do that in a different area, but just not right now, because this is just to make the spaceship, run and to make it look cool. So we're gonna have a water input and the fissile fuel input. And there's 2 outputs as well. The first output is the heated coolant, so that would be, in this case, steam, because water turns to steam when heated up. And the second output is going to be the nuclear waste. Now, nuclear waste isn't good. It can irradiate your world. However, you can also use the nuclear waste. If we go over to here, you can see we can use the nuclear waste to make plutonium and polonium. Now, I want to actually do that because, we might as well because we have it here. However, we're going to do that a little bit differently, and I'm also going to do that next episode because I don't have enough time to actually do that in this episode, mainly because, well, I've been very busy in real life, and this episode, if I put the polonium and plutonium in here, I won't get this episode out in time. You guys are pretty much seeing this being recorded as I'm making it right now. But what we need to do now is hook up the fissile fuel and hook up water. Now, you guys see I already have a sink in my inventory. So if we go right under it, I think it's, of course I placed it wrong. It should be right here. It should be right down there. And I think I'm going to use Mekanism pipes for this. So, yes, because Mekanism, I think I actually have Mekanism pipes on Autocraft. So I have pressurized ones on Autocraft, but not the actual ones on Autocraft. That's fine. I can just use these guys right here. And then I can have it pump in water from the bottom like that. Now you can see it's filling up very slowly. Oh, there we go. It was just such a small amount being put in that I couldn't see it. So I know I'm going to need a lot of water, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and make the ultimate upgrade for this. We can see water's going to be just dumping in here now at a very high rate. You guys can see this is a really big internal buffer for water. Now, I think I'm just going to do, I don't know if steam is a gas or if it's considered a liquid. But if it's considered a gas, I might just put it in a tank right here and then have it go dumping excess. I know that's kind of not the best thing to do, but that's the thing I'm going to do for now. And I'm thinking nuclear waste is going to be, I need to make these guys anyways, I think. It's just going to end up happening like that. I'll just make 8 for now, just so we can get it going. So I guess keep this one right here. Okay, I'm gonna just keep that there though, because I already had it made. So now we got that, and that should be good. Now to get this over there, I'm probably going to use, I don't really want those pipes. Actually, it wouldn't matter if the pipes were connecting, would it be? I'm going to do this quickly. I'm going to disconnect right here. I'm going to connect it right there, and I'm finally going to connect it right there. That shouldn't go into there because, okay, perfect. Now, as long as we do this, this should pull out and put into here. As long as I configure this to output on the top. Perfect. So now all I have to do is, I don't know if I need to upgrade in this, but you know, I already have the upgrades right here. I might as well do it. So let's make ourselves a diamond upgrade and just pop it in. And now we're full. Now all we should have to do is activate this guy, and it should go up and work right away. So let's run upstairs and activate it. Okay, come here, click activate. Burn rate is pretty slow, and looks like it's doing great actually. So we're making a whole bunch of coolant, and we're also making some nuclear waste. And you know what I just realized, guys? This doesn't actually make power. I have to use the turbine to make power. Okay. Good to know. I didn't realize that. I guess I was being kind of dumb. That's fine though, because we do need the nuclear waste, so this is fine with me. Okay, I wasn't thinking this far, to be honest with you guys. I thought this thing right here would make power, but what I think I'm going to do to kind of remedy this is I'm going to just put a boiler, or sorry, not a boiler, a turbine on one of these sides, and use that to actually make the power for this. However, I think I'm going to end up doing that next episode, because as I mentioned, I don't have enough time to do it this episode with get you guys an actual episode coming out. So I'm sorry guys, I was not doing power this episode. I was really hoping to. For some reason, I thought the fission reactor made power and didn't just make nuclear waste. But we can use the heated coolant to make power, and that will be perfectly fine. I may make a turbine over here, or I might just make a turbine at main base and have it be piped back. We'll see what I think about that. Or you guys can comment, and because I am very busy and posting this day of, I'll be able to see your comments tomorrow before I start recording this episode to see what you guys want me to do with this reactor right here. And if you guys are wondering, I have seen your comments about, you know, things like the pacing of this that I mentioned a couple episodes ago, and I have replied to most comments, and I will get to them, guys, but right now I kind of want to just finish what I'm doing right now, and then I'll get to your comments. I promise you guys. I'm looking forward to doing all your guys' suggestions and such. But once again, guys, thank you very much for watching this 24th episode of my Direwolf20 series. I will fix this, or not fix this, I will finish this next episode with both plutonium, or I guess uranium waste, nuclear waste production, and using it for whatever, as well as making an actual power source using a turbine and use this heat and steam that we are producing. Well, sorry guys, I can't speak today. Maybe coming back from the dentist is just making my jaw numb, so I can't speak correctly. But once again, I'll see you guys next episode. Thank you very much for watching. See you guys Monday. Bye bye.